Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking about the injury of Bishop Budnick. Yeah. I wrote a new email today, thinking for sure that you would respond to it, but it looks like you really don't care. Now, obviously, when you have the evidence of a crime, there is an obligation of law enforcement to have to enforce the laws, but you're not going to do that. No. And the reason is because you don't have to. See, when my wife took my sons, yes, on July 2nd of 2011, she made up a false accusation of domestic violence and child abuse. Now, the problem with being married to a woman for 10 years is this type of thing usually doesn't happen. I mean, I'm just guesstimating, but I'm thinking that when you've been married for 10 years, yes, you have five biological children with myself and a stepdaughter. Yeah. And you go through a foreclosure, you move to Airway Heights, you house it, and then you decide, well, we're going to move to Guam. And then you run out of money, and you end up staying in a homeless shelter. And the thought was, well, we were eligible for the the homeless prevention and relocation program. Yeah. And initially, when we got there, within the first 3 days, we went through Catholic services. But then they had a fire, and our files got burnt up. And it's one of those things when you lose everything you own, and you're really trying to find a place to live, and then you find out that somebody burnt up your files and they couldn't help me. Yeah. It was really disappointing because you thought, you know what? We're eligible for this. We can get 6 months worth of rental assistance. Right. I found a job with the Center for Micronesian Empowerment. Benjamin was born in September. Yes. And we can make it. We can do this. But somehow my wife got involved with something that's very difficult to explain. But I'm going to try to do my best for you to understand. See, there was what was known as the show. Yes. Are you familiar with the show? Ooh. The show was that we were going to virtualize the entertainment. Yes. And you were going to read the show through the thoughts of other people, and you were all going to be famous. Oh. But I didn't want to be in the show. See, when I was standing at the back of the Tamuning Plaza, the hotel that we were staying at when we first moved to Guam, we had about, well, $15,000 of available funds. Yes. We stayed there from September, October, November, December. It's about $6,000. And then the last month we got some help from the church. Yes. And then we ran out of money and we got moved to the Guma San Jose. Now, some women, they don't really function very good in trying times. Yes. The difficulty of having to go through something that was unexpected. Now, we really didn't argue that much when living at the Guma San Jose. Yes. I left every day to go find a place for us to live. Went through approximately 30 different locations. Right. And then about 8 or 9 different realtors trying to find a place to house my family. Yeah. But we got our insurance, no, our income tax refund, right? Right as we moved in, it was April, May, and June. Yes. And then my sons were abducted on July 2nd. Now, when you're a father, yes, you think, well, I don't really argue with my wife. I didn't really yell a lot at her. Yes. But there are some women that I'd like to speak to in a very masculine voice today. We have some politicians, yes, that seem to think that I'm a domestic abuser and child abuser, yes, for being concerned about the injury of my son, Bishop Budnick, yes, when the court did not give me any due process. See, There are some women that are not used to men getting angry at them. Mhm. They consider it domestic violence. Yes. When you kidnap children. Now, let's say I'm able to sue you. Ouch. That goes for each of oh, look at here. There's some women running for president. Yes. See, when you spend 8 years and 3 months being tortured, yes, because of the corruption of a police department that can be paid off, yes, and then I find out that there are presidential candidates that are women, yes, a lot of them are not used to getting yelled at. Now, if I didn't have to put this on the YouTube, yes, Senator Amy, ouch, I'd be the cunt right now. I'm the kind of man that would yell at you. Now, Representative Tulsi, yes. Uh, Elizabeth, and then Senator Kamala, ooch, and Kirsten Gillibrand, yes. See, there seems to be this availability for women to bully men, yes. As in, you can abuse a man, and a man can't get a woman to do anything. Now, I want you to understand for every woman in politics, yes, that have been congratulating themselves about their success in politics, as soon as I have these laws enforced, you're going to hear a voice of a man unlike anything you've ever heard before. Now, I want to tell you, Elizabeth, there are women, yes, that are not used to being yelled at.